The saga continues, ladies and gentlemen, part 9 of My Inner Life, A New Life. A few months later, I was coming home from the castle after watching Link all day in the practice yards with his legion. He had spent the day teaching sword techniques to the people in his legion. Who else would he be teaching the sword techniques to? Considering he was with his legion. Oh well. I spent most of the day watching him until I started feeling a little sick. I moved into the garden to sit down and rest when Zelda came to see me. "You do not look well, my friend. Are you okay?" Zelda says, looking worried. "I feel a little sick in the stomach." "And I feel real tired," I said as I held my stomach and tried to get up. "Come, my friend, I'll take you to the healer." Zelda took my hand and led me towards the healer's chambers. Hold on a sec, she feels a bit sick in her stomach. Where else would she feel sick? Generally speaking, if you feel like you're going to throw up, yeah, it is a feeling you get in your stomach, generally speaking. Okay, let's carry on. When we got there, the healer had me lie on a table while she looked me over. After some time, she found out why I was not well. She told me I was pregnant. Zelda looked at me with shock as I was hit with joy. A rush of happiness ran through me. I looked at Zelda and then hugged her. "Oh, goddesses! Congratulations!" "Oh, Link will be so happy." Zelda smiled at me as we hugged, and I felt warm inside. "I must go tell father," and then Zelda took off to fetch the king. I turned my attention back to the healer. "How far along am I asked. "About 2 months, the healer responded. "Hold on. She's 2 months along?" And it never occurred to her, after at least 2 months of not getting a period, that she just might be pregnant. Considering all of the sex scenes in which no contraceptives whatsoever are mentioned, and the few months after that's just been referenced, all of that time having unprotected sex, and it does not occur to her that she just might be pregnant, even after missing a cycle. Sorry, I'm not buying that. Not buying that at all. The healer responded. She handed me a small bag with herbs in it. "Here are some herbs to counter the morning sickness and dizziness. Make sure you take it easy. No real heavy activities. Eat and drink a lot and make sure you get enough sleep." Okay. I'll just pause here for a second. You don't really need to eat a hell of a lot. According to everything I've read, a pregnant woman needs approximately 200 calories more than what she would when she isn't pregnant. And if you're suffering from morning sickness, it'd be very difficult to be eating a lot anyway. I know. When I was pregnant, I was having to eat small portions more regularly, because eating a lot at once was making me feel ill. So, eat a lot is, well, that advice is just stupid. You go along with what your body will have. Ugh. And one piece of advice on a personal note: if you and your husband make love a lot while you're pregnant, you'll help to make the baby stronger. What? This sort of falls into the "you fail sex ed forever" category. Oh dear. No. Having sex will not affect the baby. It certainly won't make it bloody stronger. Oh God. Oh God, that's got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've read in this whole fic. Just no real heavy lovemaking. Keep it gentle and come to see me in 2 weeks. You may now leave. She gestured for me to get up, and I nodded at the healer as I got off the table and headed back to the palace garden. Oh God. guys, I'm sorry that I still can't get over that. If you're suffering from morning sickness, you're not really going to have sex on the mind anyway. Oh dear. Oh dear, let me just calm a sec. As I waited for Princess Zelda and her father, I put my hand on my belly and began to think to myself, oh my goddesses, I'm going to be a mother. My firstborn, Link's child. A tear started to run down my cheek. He gave me this miracle, blessed us with a baby. I love him so much. Then tears of happiness started to stream down my face. I had a miracle growing inside me. Link and I made this new life together. We were truly blessed. Then I heard Lily calling me. Jenna, I just heard the news. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Link will be so happy when you tell him. How are you going to tell him? Link's grin nearly split her face. Split her face? That must be some wide grin right there. Okay. I looked at Lily and her pink aura seemed to glow brighter. I thought of lighting some candles, cooking a meal to create a romantic setting, and telling him over dinner. Lily flew in a circle. That's a great idea. I can't wait to see the look on his face, Lily said as she chuckled at the thought of Link's expression after what he was told. I sat and wondered how Link would take it, but I knew that he always wanted a child, and I hoped the baby would be a boy, since that is what Link always wanted. Oh, God. Like she's not got a mind of her own and can't decide for herself which sex she would actually prefer. Not as if you could make any difference anyway once a baby's conceived. It is what it is, a boy or a girl. Oh dear. Jenna, my dear daughter, I heard about thy pregnancy. Just then the king walked into the palace garden with Princess Zelda right behind him. The princess just told me about thy new miracle. I ran over to him and gave the king a hug. The king looked into my eyes. His eyes were as gentle as ever. Congratulations, my daughter. Have thou told Link yet? I nodded no, but I was going to tell him tonight over dinner. When you and Link have thy firstborn, I will have everyone in Hyrule attend to celebrate thy new life. A naming ceremony will also be held. It will be a blessed event. And then the king's smile seemed to glow. I am going to be a grandfather, the king said as he smiled at me. His smile always warmed my soul. I was glad he was like a father to me, always gentle and caring. Now I was to have a baby, he brought us even closer. We chit-chatted a little longer until the dizziness started to take hold. Then the king saw me to the gate and I headed for home. Oh dear. The butchered English again. And also notice the Suvian entitlement here. There's going to be this grand celebration and naming ceremony. And Jenna is not even his biological daughter. Zelda is. Talk about entitled or what? And finally, if you notice that someone's feeling unwell and they're feeling dizzy, are you going to let them ride home on a horse? Or do you offer to put them up and stay for a night? I mean, you know, not too much to ask, is it? Especially since it's Hyrule Castle and there's got to be a lot of spare rooms there. No, it beggars belief. Anyway, let's continue. When I reached home, I went straight to bathe. After I undressed, I looked down at my bare stomach. I put my hand gently on my belly and rubbed up and down. There was a life growing inside me, a miracle that Link gave me. The baby was going to be beautiful. Then I got into the tub and slid down into the water. I soaked my sore ankles and legs a while. Then I took the wash rag and cleaned up. After I washed up, I got out and dried off. Yeah, generally you do get out of the bath and get dry once you're finished. I went to the wardrobe closet and selected a low-cut pink dress with long sleeves at the Triforce symbol over my right breast. A pink feathery lace ran underneath my breasts and a crisscross pattern held the back together. I pulled my hair into a bun and went downstairs. I lit the candles around the room and the two on the table. Then I went to prepare dinner. I made cooked pork in cream sauce with potatoes and cabbage. As I made the final preparations, I heard a horse come plodding up the stable. I finished setting the table, put the food out on the table. Yeah, you generally do that with food, Jenna. Took my apron off and hurried to the door to greet Link. As he stepped in the door, his eyes looked me up and down. You look ravishing, my love. I thought about you all day long. Then reached over and kissed me on the lips and took my hand and led me to the house. Once inside, he noticed the candles and food on the table. Honey, what's with the candles and the food setting? I looked into his dark blue eyes and smiled. I just wanted to surprise you with a romantic dinner after you'd worked hard all day, I said sweetly. His eyes widened as he took me into his arms. It's just lovely, my sweet. Thank you, my love. He kissed me again, then gestured me to sit at the table. He pushed in my chair before seating himself. After we served ourselves, I looked up from my food and at him. So, honey, how was your day? After he swallowed a bite of food, he answers, The king and I had discussions about updating defensive moves among the army, so I spent the entire day teaching new sword techniques and defence strategies among the men. I cocked my head at Link. Does the king think that a war is brewing? I asked. No, but he wants to be prepared in the event that one does and men have to be sent in. Link, honey, I did watch you today until I started to not feel very well, I said as I put my fork down. Link's eyes grew a worried look in them. How do you feel now, sweetheart? He asked, concerned. I feel much better now. I went over to the castle's healer. Then there was a long pause before Link broke the silence. Are you okay, my love? Link questioned. Link, my love, I have something to tell you, I said as I looked into his eyes. Just then Lily and Navi flew into the room. Lily flew up to my ear. Jen, did you tell him yet? Tell him what? Navi chimed in. Link, my love, we're going to have a baby, I finally said. The next thing I heard was a clank of silverware hitting his plate. His eyes grew big as saucers and he looked at me. You mean I'm going to be a father? He said as a look of pure shock came across his face. I nodded yes. Oh, Jen, congratulations. I had no idea you were pregnant. Navi added. Link then leapt out of his chair, ran over to me, lifted me up and took me into his arms. He stared deeply into my eyes, then kissed me passionately. I love you, Jen. I cannot believe I'm going to be a father. Excitement filled Link's eyes. Then he placed a hand on my belly. Hold on. He's carrying Jen in his arms. How is he going to place a hand on her belly? Oh dear, this is just painful to read. How far along are you? Link asked with excitement. The healer said I was 2 months along, I replied. I still cannot believe it. I'm going to be a daddy, Link added. Link and I held each other for a long time. We were happy we were going to have a baby. Excitement filled us both. I laid my head against Link's chest and out of the corner of my eye I saw Lily and Navi smiling in a way of saying, oh, isn't that beautiful? I felt a rush of happiness run through me. I knew now that I was going to be complete. Link and now I was going to have his baby. Link was now going to have the child he always wanted. We were truly blessed. The next few days were not easy. The morning sickness hit, and when I got up in the morning, the dizziness had hit by mid-afternoon. With Link's duties at the castle, he was not able to remain at home with me like he wanted to, but he left Navi and Lily to watch over me. Link did worry about me while he was away, but he knew Lily and Navi would take care of me. It was the hottest part of summer. About midday, some of the villagers from Kakariko, spell it right, village, would gather into Lake Hylia. Inside the Lost Woods, it was a little cooler. However, sometimes the humidity would make going outside unbearable. Oh dear, never mind. Living round Lake Hylia would have been a much better choice than the Lost Woods, trust me. From time to time, I got to the castle and visit Princess Zelda, or to watch Link in the practice yards, but during the days it was too hot, I would remain home. And on the days Link stayed home, we ourselves would go to Lake Hylia to cool off. Yes, you would go there to cool off. Especially since there's icy water coming down from Zora's domain, which is frozen at this point and is going to take a long time to melt. Never mind. After the hot months in the early fall, Link and I talked about our relationship beyond our vows. We wanted to bond ourselves together further than our marriage had. We found out that there was a monastery just beyond Gerudo Valley, where the monks performed the pagan bonding ceremonies. The rituals were performed to bond married couples further than their marriage vows. Link and I decided we meant so much to each other that we wanted to do it together. Okay, that's the end of that chapter, but just one point here. Beyond Gerudo Valley, the only thing there was those barren wastelands, and finally the Desert Colossus. And the temple there is certainly not a big monastery. It's a temple. And there was no pagan monks there. Ugh. Do they have to cross the barren wasteland for this? It just beggars belief, it really does. Seriously, this fic gets more ridiculous the more you read it. Well, that's the last of that part, so wait till the next instalment.